I think my own level of ICT, or my personal level, I think is probably satisfactory. I tend to be very old school, if I'm really honest. I need to get to the next level, basically. In terms of podcasting, what I know is very little. I think at the moment it's something to do with webcams or, basically young people recording their thoughts and sending them on the internet. So my knowledge is extremely minimal at the moment.
Susan Nembard is an English teacher at Samworth Enterprise Academy in Leicester. She's been teaching for 13 years. Susan has never made a podcast, but would like to find out more. So we've challenged her to discover as much as she can about using this technology and to transfer the skills she picks up into her own classroom. Following her progress through the challenge, you'll find out, among other things, what the difference is between a podcast and an audio recording, how to record sound, and how podcasts can improve speaking and listening skills. If you want to give it a go yourself, there's a range of useful videos and support materials on the page for this programme on the Teachers TV website. So Susan's travelled to North London to meet Ophelia Vanderpoy, an ICT advanced skills teacher at Oakington Manor Primary School.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Hi.
Now, a podcast, I'm not sure if you know the difference between a podcast and an audio recording. Lots of people actually make the mistake of calling just a single audio recording a podcast, and it's not really, because if you see it as a book with chapters, or even soap opera with series of, different stories coming, but it's all about the same topic.
Right. Okay. And is that the defining feature?
That is the defining feature, and also the fact that it's syndicated, it's uploaded, and it's turned into a feed which automatically updated when new episodes come in.
Right. Okay.
If you'd like to know more about how to find and download podcasts and are watching this on the Teachers TV website, look below for a short how-to video. To start the day, Ophelia takes Susan to her brand new recording studio to meet some of her regular podcasters in Year 5.
This is where we do most of our podcasting. So what you're going to see now is a few children who've been working on podcasting for a while now, and they're going to do a couple of episodes on different life cycles. We have children who take responsibility for doing the mixing and the actual recording, and then we have the children who do the actual, broadcasting and so on.
Hello, my name is Chief Reporter Ems.
And I am Little Miss Han.
Every week, our team will bring you a different life cycle podcast. Today, Little Miss Han and I will be talking about the life cycle of a frog.
Thank you, Em. Did you know a frog starts off as an egg? This is called frog spawn.
The school has a website called the Oakmag Radio Network, where all their podcasts are stored and can be listened to and downloaded by family, friends, and even the general public. The website has a number of channels, each for a different podcast theme.
Can you tell me a little bit about how these came about? What are they? What are you talking about?
We're going to be talking about the life cycle of a frog, and we got the research from the internet, and then we put it in our own words and we put it as a script.
Excellent.
After finishing their audio recording, this group of pupils will upload it via a piece of podcasting software called Podium to the new Science and Technology channel on their website. Anyone signed up to receive the Science and Technology podcasts can download the new Frog Life Cycle podcast when they next sign in.
Because we are uploading material onto the internet, children were asked to, make up a name, find themselves a character. So then we're not actually publishing real names, we're publishing our stage names.
And who do you hope is going to listen to this podcast?
The whole world?
The whole world. So will the younger children be able to understand as well as older children?
Yeah.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
This afternoon, Ophelia is joined by some pupils from St Mary Magdalene's Catholic Junior School who work with her on lots of podcasting projects. Today they've come to record and edit a podcast about a nature visit both schools took part in. They're accompanied by their ICT coordinator, Aeneas McNulty.
Put your hand up if you heard that word before, or that term, vox pop. Okay, Olivia,
A vox pop is a video when one person asks a question and then other people or children go to them and say what their opinion about it.
Okay, that's true, but it can be an audio as well. And we are going to be doing an audio recording today. You will all have to come up one by one to give your answer, okay? So you want to speak up nice and loudly. Don't worry if you make a mistake, because it can always be edited. So, Samaya, are we ready?
How did you find the Brent Nature Network project, and was there anything in particular that really excited you?
I really liked it when we were using the underwater cameras and we saw all the fish.
I liked it when we were doing the PowerPoints on all of the different insects.
I liked it when we went on Cartouche to find out about the mini beast habitats and when we went pond dipping.
After recording everyone's opinions, the pupils need to edit their audio recordings. Aeneas gives them a few tips on using Audacity, free software available to download from the internet.
So I'm just going to show you a few tools in Audacity. As you can see, there's lots of tabs, there's lots of buttons there, and it can look very confusing, but it's not. It's really simple to use. I'm just going to show you 3 or 4 ways that you can make your editing sound really good.
In terms of whole school, what's the youngest age you would say you'd start getting the children to do this? Nursery.
Nursery.
Wow.
We wouldn't actually get the nursery children using Audacity,
No,
but we'd use things like easy speak microphones, you know, get children singing songs, telling stories and things like that.
I work with a lot of children who are disengaged. How well do you think they would engage with this?
I think they would engage very, very well, because you do things at your own level.
Yeah.
And especially when you're recording something that is of interest to you, then, you know, you become far more engaged.
While editing, pupils add music to their recordings.
You could try Aqua. You could try Aqua there. Yeah. And then how do you listen to it?
Listen, just there.
Oh. It's quite like that one. Do you want to listen to it?
For anything you're planning to publish on the internet, you need to ensure the music has copyright clearance.
How long have you been doing this kind of thing?
About a month or 2.
Only a month or 2, so you're talking weeks, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you look like you were born to do it. You look like you've been doing it since you were born. It's fantastic.
When the lesson is finished, Susan and Ophelia have a debrief.
In terms of podcasting then, what types of skills do you think that podcasting develops?
In the first instance, speaking and listening. Research skills, copyright issues, you know, you need to really be careful and get the children thinking about the fact that, you know, music is copyrighted, and also to decide on what they think might interest other people of their own age. And that is really a difficult skill to get to grips with.
This is an amazing suite. Podcasting, however, if you're in a more humble environment, how much does it cost?
Well, it can start off by costing you nothing. Okay. When we first started to podcast, I used to use my mobile phone to do all the recordings. As long as you've got a very basic microphone, you can podcast very, very easily. And there's a number of programs now on, you know, the internet that are free to use.
Susan's now got 2 weeks to devise a lesson plan for her Year 9s based on creating podcasts in her classroom.
I think the range of things that you can use podcasting for has really blown my mind. It's really kind of got me thinking about what can I do with my kids, you know, that my kids can do that too. Plan of action is to go back to school, to rave about podcasting, especially to the IT people. Next thing as well is to think about the things I'm going to do with my classes and also to involve them in the discussion as well. Let them know what a day I've had, how we can use things and get their ideas and opinions as well. I think it's really just getting to grips with the programmes. I've never seen them before. I hadn't heard of them until this morning. So it's really just making sure that I understand what I'm doing, manipulate things here and there, and just to get to grips with them, really. I'm a little worried about that, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
Two weeks later, and we're back at Samworth Enterprise Academy. How has Susan got on?
When I got back, the first thing I did was go to the IT team, make sure they knew exactly what I wanted, which podcasting software had been recommended and whether or not it could actually be used in school. Second thing was really trying to define what podcasting was to my classes as well, because they hadn't heard of it. And then really just having a go myself, making sure that I knew what I was doing.
The IT team at Susan's school recommended different podcasting software called Propaganda, which was already installed on some of the school's computers. Today, in an English lesson focused on speaking and listening skills, Susan is getting her Year 8 students to make an audio recording about life at their school, which will be turned into a podcast.
We're going to go through some of the technology today. If you've got a peak in your sound in your podcast, do you remember? What do? Drag and
click.
That's it. Click, drag, and then delete it.
If you're watching this on the Teachers TV website and would like to see Susan's lesson plan, look below. One group has chosen to make a podcast about an upcoming school trip.
Hello and welcome to
Inspire Radio.
Coming up on the show today, we've got the finalised details of Drayton Manor with Mr. Myveld. You three ready? 3, 2, 1.
Why are we going to Drayton Manor for a reward?
It's for all the young people that have done well throughout the year, and also young people that have improved throughout the year.
And we thought it would be better to not talk about something that's already been like sports day, because they've obviously involved in it and they obviously know what's happened. We thought something upcoming would just get them a bit more interested in what we were saying basically.
Using the media, I felt there were at least 5 or 6 different skills that were all honed in on. You know, what are you doing, why are you doing it, who are you doing it for, does that piece of music work? Also as well in terms of how you articulate. The bottom line is really young people know that they're producing something for an audience, that it's going to actually be exported, that anybody they know, even people they don't know, globally, locally, will be able to listen to their work. And all the hard work and all the attention to detail and the editing and the teamwork and everything that they've put into it will actually be appreciated by a wider audience. And I think that's what gives them the buzz.
Inspire Radio.
In previous lessons, we've just been planning out how we're going to do our podcast, and today we've actually been recording everything we're going to do and getting the music
And
sorted.
writing scripts and sharing each other's jobs.
We didn't really know what a podcast was before we found out what we're doing, so...
We've had some up and downs with the propaganda thing, because sometimes you'll cut bits out that you don't want to cut out, and then you'll put things in that are too long or too loud or something.
As anything, it just takes a bit of getting used to. You've got to make sure you really present it in a way.
Can't really show yourself up in front of a lot of people.
Basically, it's just a different way of learning, a more fun way.
I think the lesson went really well. This process has really woken me up. I cannot believe the progress that I have made personally. I have taught a lesson where I've manipulated software. I actually feel like I'm at the same level as the young people, particularly the ICT literate ones. I actually feel quite empowered. We're looking at integrating this into the English scheme of work. So this will be part of the speaking and listening curriculum across all key stages at the Academy. What we're hoping to do is set up something called Samworth Online, which we've got but we're looking at a radio element of that. So I'm really looking forward to the fact that most young people by this time next year will know what a podcast is and will have exported their own work via Samworth Online.
If you're watching this on the Teachers TV website and are interested to see how teachers of different subjects and key stages use podcasts, then have a look at the Better Learning with ICT case studies below.